Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera. We've got Doug in the house.
Hey.
Doug's taking off the front fenders off the car. Pew, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Wow. But what I'm going to do is I'm first going to start off by making a couple panels. Jolene's got her hat to give away. We want to thank everybody for the great comments on that, and everybody that sent in comments. We want to give the hat away. But first we'll start off with some panels, and then we'll just continue on from there, and we'll show you what we're finding, or what Doug's finding as he's ripping the front fenders off. When it comes time to make these panels, I wanted to try to simplify this as easy as possible. You can see how we've made these ones back here. They're just kind of 18 gauge there. They're very hefty. They're very heavy, and they're going to do a fantastic job. They're nice heavy metal there. But as I'm making these panels, I want to do it as simple as possible, so I don't want to try to make the whole floor panel out of one sheet of metal. I'm thinking that I would like to do it in 1, 2, 3, 4 is what I'd like to do. That's my plan anyways, and the reason I'd like to have it that way there, I do not have to pay attention or go underneath and drill holes and that sort of stuff. If I make the panel for here, I can spot it on there, on that edge, because I can go halfway on that. We can go on this part here. We can go halfway on this. When we go halfway on it, then we just go weld right on top of it. If we make a panel lay over top of it, then I got to go underneath and trace all the places where the cross ribs are. I have to get my drill out and start drilling holes. Then I have to make sure everything's down tight and right. Well, if I just make 1, 2, 3 panels, if I just lay them on there and they're down there on the edge, and I know they're tight and right because I can see it. And I also can weld the panels on together. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I want to do. So we'll make a couple panels, show you what I plan on doing. I might change my mind, and I have changed my mind before, obviously. You know that. And you're allowed to change your mind anytime you want to, too, because to be honest with you, things change. Let's do this one. So I've got this. You can see this panel right here goes up. There's a piece of square stock here, and what I've done is just capped that. Panel's going to lay on top of this, lay on top of this, lay on top. As you can see in here, I've got a boo-boo going on. I made this panel before I made the drive shaft tunnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little piece here, put a 90 bend in it, and make it fit there. That's probably what I'm going to do, but I made it fit all the way out to the corner. I was thinking about the metal coming out to this edge, and I cut that there, and I made my angle from there, and that's not what I have. So I'm going to have to repair that. That's fine, no harm, no foul in my opinion. I'm just going to clamp that on there. I want to bruise it. You can see I got a little piece of metal on there. You can see a little piece of metal on there. That would cause a bruise on anything. I'm going to knock that off because it's not making me happy. Jolene, can you show you the sill, what that looks like? The sill turned out fantastic, or in my opinion. Doug said to me this morning, he said, "Where'd you buy the sills at?" Yeah. Bought them right in the body shop. I'm just going to hold that there like that. Hold this one over here like so. Same deal. Don't want to bruise it. Just want to hold it. Just want to hold it. Don't want to bruise it. And it don't take much to bruise something, that's for sure. That's just getting that to hold that in there tight. Hold that in there tight. Hold that in there tight. Let's make this panel. Just going to take this, set that on the floor. We'll make that panel right there. Jolene went downtown and got me some Bristol board. And let's use her up. Got a marker in my pocket, pair of scissors. And like I said to Doug this morning, I do not like measuring my panels on the floor. I do not like measuring them, and because it's so easy to mess it up. For me, to have a panel like set in there like so, just taking my thumb, using it as a marker on that thing. I'm going to put that back there like that. I'm going to mark center of that. Center of that. I got a hole. I don't even matter if I have a hole or not there to mark that. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be able to see it anyways. I'm going to slide this down in here. So let's take that out. I'm coming to your side, Jolene. I'm coming to your side. I'm coming to you, baby. I'm coming to you. All right, just going to get our ruler. That was in the middle of our square stock where I marked it. Cut this. You can measure out your floor pans if you want to, but I find to make a paper pattern, it seems to be more accurate, and a better going, and less mistakes. You know, it might take a little bit to get the paper pattern going, but let's face it, less mistakes is the way to rock and roll, I think. Looks good and straight. So, that's sharp on that hole. I have to grind that off. Get on there. That's what I would start with, just like that. Then we'd make another panel. I'm going to grab another piece of Bristol board. Once I get the second panel made, or the next panel made, I'll show you what I have to do next before I even take off. Now I want a little bit of a gap in between. So we have this panel here. Let's go all the way over. We'll make this straight along here if we can. That would make me happy. Panel sitting in there nice, sitting in there nice. I have over here. We're in the middle of this. Middle of that. That's good. And then we have this. Start with that one. Mark it off there. Line across there. So, I'm showing you basically probably the easiest form of making a floor. Or making it easiest for me. Everything's straight, nothing's round, nothing's too hard to figure out. We're just going to go with the center of this. You see the rib there? I want to go in the center of it. That way there, I don't have to What don't I have to do? I don't have to go underneath. I don't have to drill no holes. I don't have to do anything. I weld it all from the top and everything will be nice and tight. Let's do that. So Doug's job, after we get floor pans all discovered and made, after Doug gets the fender off, he'll cut me some floor pans. But before I put the floor pans in, I must do the inside sill, and I'm going to show you that here in a very second. Now, some of the stuff can be cut back and cut again. 99 cents? Mm-hmm. So then we have another piece. Goes over there like that. Then what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to weld them together down through there, just like I'm going to do here. I should actually draw myself a line on what's going on here so I can get that straight going down there to know where to go. But basically that's how the floor pans are going. So the next one will be this one. And then the next one will be this one. And basically I'm just going to keep it that simple. I don't even think I'm going to put any beads in the floor. And the reason being is we're hard down on these right here. And also I don't plan on warping them up because I'm not planning on putting a bunch of heat to them to make them weak. Also, I don't want to put the beads in it, I don't think. I just don't feel like it. It doesn't much matter if they're there, if they're not. And it also lets everybody know they do not need the bead roller to do a nice job of what's going on. Alrighty, so I have that set in there like that. But obviously if I put the floor in there like that, I cannot get that inside sill unless I come up from underneath. And that's where I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to put that in, show you I'm going to put that inside sill in so I can put these floor pans on. Also, where it's running out this way, the water, it's got to lean to this way. This piece here should probably be on top of this piece. So if any water gets in the car, or it's in there and it runs out the sill, just like it was being shingled, I guess. I'm going to the other side. I'm going to stick a floor pan in. Let's take a look here for a second. This is what I'm talking about. It just keeps getting worse. As we got the fenders off, I've got a chance to cap this. Now, when you get the fender out, now I got to fix this. That's where the fender comes on and bolts on. My inside sill would come right down to this piece and connect on there or not, whatever. If it does, if it doesn't, or whatever. But that end piece, the end of this sill has to be capped. And that's what we're going to do. We got not much of a gap going on there, but when we push this around, push that into the inside sill, then the gap opens up and it becomes exactly what we want. So I'm going to go to the other side. So we got the outside sill on. Now we got to get that inside sill on. And the reason being is it's to close off from anything I'm getting inside. This is the back part. Now we're going to do the front part. You can see I haven't got this quite at the right angle. This little bend here, and it's a hard thing to tell when you're doing stuff like this, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Now, I'm going to. Doug's right there where the. Wait till he comes out. I want to chop him in the head with a piece of metal. Probably wouldn't be that good. No, sorry me. You keep working, buddy. You're doing a great job. You're doing a fine job. So, as we take a look here, how we want to do this. I want to go inside that, outside that. What I want to do. I think I'm going to go on the other side of it. Makes it easier for me. I want to go all the way ahead. I want to go all the way ahead. Why do I want to go all the way ahead? Well, I want to go all the way ahead because I have a chance to cut it off and I might need to use it. So that way there I have enough back here, so I'm fine. I need my... Jolene's right up inside the car. What did you do? I gotta go get my marker. You stay right there, sweetheart. Man, I'm telling you, you're... She's for you guys. She's for you guys. She wants to make sure you... Look at that.
Yeah.
Huh? Look at this now, would you?
Get it off, please. Here, baby. Get it off.
How'd that get on you?
I don't know.
How'd that get on you? We don't try to kill these things. We try to... They're all over the place. They're absolutely all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Is it?
Yeah, she had one crawling on her shoulder.
Ah, cute. She likes you.
Awesome. Let's
Yeah,
put...
there seems to be a lot of caterpillars.
I'm gonna take this and put this in here. I want to get the...
Can we do the draw so I can get rid of the
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put an inside sill in. All right, Jolene's going to do the draw, give away the hat. Then we'll put the inside sill in. Did you make a comment?
I have no idea.
There was 745 comments.
Oh, wow.
Which is really good.
Like the old days.
Yeah.
745 comments. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. And thank everybody that have bought the gear. We've noticed a big jump in the sales. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. And go get yourself a hat. If not, we're going to give away a free one.
If you put me on a t-shirt, you'd sell more.
Is that right?
Yeah. I know you would.
I never even thought. Might just happen.
Remember, she's the queen, you're the king, and I'm the joker.
Oh, is that how that goes, Doug? Should I wait for this, baby?
Yes, hang on.
Okay, just a second. She wants me to wait, Doug.
Okay, we're doing the draw right now.
See how you have no patience sometimes you get to this.
Patience be gone.
Patience? What the hell's that?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that people that you look after?
Okay, the username is Dawn Lay.
Don Lay?
Yes, says Jolene, I would love to have one. So
John Lay wins the hat. He said he'd love to have one. John Lay, you've got a hat now, old brother. And thanks a lot for making a comment. And thank everybody else. We appreciate it. All right. Congratulations. Let's put the inside sill in. Jolene's going to shut the computer up just so that it's harder on the computer in here. I think that they pick up the metal filings. We've ruined one computer in here.
yeah.
And I think that's what happens to Jolene's microphones. They pick up metal.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll wait till she gets back.
Nothing lasts forever.
Don't say that, Doug. Look at that.
Have you got this fender attached welded? Have you got my fender welded to your panel right there?
Maybe.
Do you?
Yeah.
That might be one reason why I can't bring it through. What's holding me here? Nothing left. You didn't think there was anything left. There's always something left, right?
Just to put the sill on right, you know what I mean? Alrighty, so let's put the inside sill in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the inside here. I put it on the inside. This is the easiest time to do it. And this is the easiest time to do it because I can see everything. And I don't have to get underneath the car. Cut that there. Cut that there. Only have to have a little bit come out there. I have to have 3/4 inch come out there. Look at that now, would you? Another one. Unless they keep crawling back in.
Caterpillar frenzy.
I'm going to cut this out. I have to make a cut for this. Cut for this. 3/4 inch cut for this. Let's do it. Get my gloves on. The console is nice and strong. Jolene's standing on top of it. Kind of a big blade to have zinging, but I had to cut it a little bit wide because there's a little bit of weld coming out there. Now, want that coming up there like that. What's holding us? We get a little bit of holding us up right here. Take that off.
Not that bad, I guess.
Drop a little bit higher in there. Take a little bit off. Not bad. I can weld on the corner. Come on, a little further. Just wanted to come up a little further so when I weld that and weld it together right on that corner would be nice. Would be nice. See what happens. If I can get her. So as you're watching us do this car, as I'm putting this floor in this car and done the trunk, made the quarter panels, that's why it's so hard for me to go somewhere and look at something and say, well, I don't know if I want it or not, because if I wanted it, I know deep down that I can fix it. That's sometimes the hardest part for me is when I go somewhere, whether I should buy something, whether I should not. And it's just because, or not say just because, is I can do the work. So if I can do the work that's up there nice, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit higher in the back. It's nice, it's beautiful. Just like you, Jolene, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take this down a little bit. So that's why sometimes it's hard for me to turn away from a project. If you can make a quarter panel, you know you can make the floor and you can do basically anything on a car that you want. You love a project. Yeah, I'm cooking with gas now. That looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my welder, start knocking that on. And this piece here is obviously too long. It's longer than I need. And the reason being is once I connect it to that sill, I can just go along the bottom and chop it off wherever I want. Just like the old apple pie that your mother would make or your grandmother would make. She went around the edge and cut it all off after. Didn't look pretty at first, but it did after she cooked it.
Sounds delicious.
Are you serious? Is this like, what's going on here? Like
Caterpillars? I know. Tons and
holy
tons of them.
smokes. They
You're
can't call
breeding
that
them.
fast, can they? It's gone.
You're
You come
breeding
back in to see me that
caterpillars.
fast? Wow. Wow. Alrighty, let's turn the welder on. Plug must be out of the wall. want to make sure I get it on tight. Just tack it on there. Just kind of pushed it up. A real good tack job, but tack enough. Alright, tack this one in here. I should have I'm just going to knock the edge of that weld off. It's not going right tight right there. Just got a little bit of weld on it, that's all. Just want to make sure it's over tight to the square stock. One right there. All right. I'd say that's good. Yeah. Knock that one off. It's not tight and you don't like it, fix it. I'm going to grab a hammer, just tighten it up a little bit. Hot rods over. Hammer tight. Now, I feel like I should take the time and weld that solid along there, because if I put my floor on top of that, I still can get stuff down inside there. It's got a little bit of a seam going on there. So I probably will weld that tight. That there is going to be brought over to the sill. So the sill is going to come around and knock on the bottom of that. We've got that all the way along there. Everything's looking good. Just going to tack it again. I'm going to say, you wet the back of my pants? All right. a nice fit because I have the round edge of the square stock right there. That's good and strong right there. You can step on that, jump on that. And also it's good so I can weld them both together. Starting in the center. I'm just going to either side to hold it on. Basically that's what has to be done. Let's put the one on the other side. Get that one fitting. What's that, sweetheart? Yeah, so what happens is, you can see that this is the inside sill hanging down here. The lot's long, and that's going to connect to the outside sill. That's how we're going to do that. Some of this, I'm going to end up, some of this hasn't got the right bend, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to bend it right now. Why not? I have a pair of, where did I put those bad boys? I don't know what you call them. I don't know what you call them. Flat bill kind of a thing going on here. I'm just going to get underneath here, put my, and bend it a little bit. Right? See how I'm bending that? Too far, that's all. When I push this back, you can see we're tight. You can see we're tight right at that door. When I push that back, that'll give me my seam back, or that's what I'm going to want back, is that seam. But I'd like to bend this up a little bit. In a perfect world, I would have bent it right, but in a fabricating world, this is what you got to do. Make adjustments all the time.
Do you need an extra set of hands there?
Huh? I just need my trusty know-how.
Not stubborn, no.
Now, I'm going to open that up. I had a good gap on that before, and I've closed it up by gee, I'm not quite sure. And that one's gone. They can't be that fast. Can they? Well, who knows? What I'm going to do is I'm going to jab this in here. That going. Take a pair of C-clamps. Let me get that bad boy together. Let's take that out. I'd like to have a little bit more if I could. That'd be nice. Alrighty. Now I've got a difficult spot right there. I want that sill to give me that much gap. I set it up for that. I've got this inside sill. That's clamped on there. Bring that in. Bring that in a little bit. Now, what's your guess on drawing that together and making that stay together? I'm going to tell you what my guess is. It's a self-tapper. I'm going to put a self-tap in that, put a bit in this, and it'll draw all that together. It will, it will, it will. Are you making Doug's or skins, are you, Doug?
Yeah, just kind of shopping for metal.
Okay. You got the other fender off? Good
Yes,
boy.
sir. Put
Right
it
on.
outside.
Right on.
Keep it out of her
So
way.
as we get looking at the front of the car, woo! It just keeps becoming more and more and more and more. And when what's going to happen is we'll just keep welding pieces on it.
Yeah.
We're not on the Bugatti right at the present moment. We burnt the switch up on the hoist. So we have to get a switch. Where did all the self-tappers go? We have to get a switch for the hoist. And that's what happened there, if you're wondering. And if you're not wondering, well, I just filled you full of information.
You want me to
Sure
try to
what
make this?
self-tappers
Hey,
are.
you want all the shiny metal that we can get?
Yeah, sure. If you can get the shiny stuff, that'd be
Is that
fantastic.
shiny enough for you?
Is it?
I don't know. It's not shiny enough for me.
Is that shiny enough for me? He says.
Yeah.
By Jesus, they are crawling back in here.
Aha. This one. It's got metal stashed everywhere around here. We do. There's a serious stash of metal around here, buddy.
Do we know where this? Yeah, maybe it's
That one.
a serious stash of metal. Doug says. Yeah, this is going to be fun because the metal's on an angle.
I like the shiny stuff.
Please, shiny stuff.
Yeah, good deal.
Not making me happy. This drill does not have, it only has one speed. That's right on the money. There we go. Watch this. Did it leave a little bit? So we just have to get a little tighter, that's all. A little tighter, that's all. That's no problem. We'll get a pair of... We get the first one on, and then we're cooking with gas. Got a pair of needle nose pliers here somewhere, I thought I had. Right over here. I just want to see if I can get it. Get that in there. This shouldn't need this anymore, I don't think. Ah. Yeah, I want that tighter. Oops, sorry, that's weird. Happy with that. And that. Try to get it on there further. Tighten it up a little bit. Alright. It's a good gap. A little bit more, be nice. I don't know what I'm picking up, the door, the sill is dropped, not sure. Fits really nice, it's not gonna hit. What, sweetheart? It's back? There it be. Alright. Just gonna stick that in there for hold the best it can. Now, I want to get that tighter there if I can. And then I'll attack that with the welder. That little bad boy's fast. He likes it. Just want to get right up in here and make it tight. Ouch. Damn near got you. Shouldn't try to get it inside here. There. Let's put a gobble weld on the inside. It's a good looking gap. Good looking gap. What I'm going to do now is just
Almost.
really dent that, to be honest with you.
That sucked.
Stand back. It's hard to look at something like that unless you really get back and take a look at it. It's a close gap. You could pull it. I welded it inside there now. That's the deal. Should be lots.
Ding.
Well, see if we can get another one in there. Not sure where my self-tappers went, but
I put them back in there last time I had them. Oh, chattels.
what's that?
I almost got through a whole cut with that thing and it bent over on me. Did you want another piece or do you want me to make best of it? I know.
Anyways, just zip cut it.
Okay.
There we go.
Twas Twas.
Got it. Wow, did that ever walkie-talkie in there? I went through some fast. I don't mind the gap, but just a little more would be. I think I'm actually worrying about nothing, to be honest with you. See if we can get it down a little bit further. Same hole. I think it's the same on the other side, same up there. I think I'm fighting with something that doesn't much matter there, I don't think.
Okay. It's not the best looking corner in the world, but that's how it worked.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that. The sill could probably be pulled down a little bit here. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard thing to do. I guess we'll get that applied and then we'll trim it off so it looks like something. Basically, that's what's gotta happen. We'll get it applied all the way along. Got the same distance all the way along. It's not a whole bunch there, that's for sure. But I got it tacked up in there. Let's do this. Do nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing. That's not gonna do nothing. I just have to make up my mind whether I like the gap or not. It's close here, isn't it? Huh? But same thing.
Hot rod.
I'm gonna go with it. And the reason being is it's not gonna hit. It doesn't look bad. Looks good. More self-tappers. I don't know where them bad boys are at.
Last case I had, I put right in there, bud.
What's that?
Last case I had, I put right in here.
Where?
There's, you probably got them in your hand. I put them in there, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I know
That's
I
fine.
know it did. Well, Nathan's not here. Let's blame it on Nathan.
Well, it could be over there. He could have them over there.
He could.
Yes,
There's
he
a
could.
few in the tray there, bud.
See that? Anyways, they're probably over the other side.
Now.
Yeah, that looks fine. That looks good. What am I worried about? What am I worried about? That looks good.
It's good.
It does. It looks good, Duncan.
It's good.
No good? That makes that sum strong, I can tell you that. Wow. What do you think? Is enough gap or too not enough or what? What? Looks good? Just worried about chipping. We're not chipping anything, are we, sweetheart? Paint on the bottom of that door and everything else.
Okay. It's tight, y'all.
Screw's no good for nothing. Let's try this bad boy. Oh, he's gonna get into that transmission fluid and he ain't gonna be happy. That worked, didn't it, baby? Ooh, that worked good.
Definitely not crazy patterns.
A little bit long. This one going here? Yep, going too. Nice. I love it. Not really, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, they must be over there. Found a couple more. See what happens. I didn't leave you no room to go off the line, eh, Doug?
Am I supposed to go off the line?
No.
Supposed to be tight?
Tight and right would be good. Well,
That's
there's
the way
supposed
I'm
to be a
running
little
it.
bit of a gap, or I'm going to want a little bit of a gap. That drill is not screwing around, is it? Huh? There's no... Yeah, it brings that in nice and tight. Beautiful. Beautiful, eh, baby? Ooh, golf ball. Bring this one in tight. Okay. May as well. Let's bring them all tight together. How's that? If you can't get this one. Probably not. I wonder if we can get through 4 sheets. Had a little one, probably do it. The drill is a ramrod. It's got no slow. And the other drill's over across, so probably that's where the self-tapper is at. Whoa, look at that now, would you?
Yeah, it's not very many, but that's 3 more than you had before.
Let's see if I can get that all rolled together.
Do you need many more?
And we got friendly hornets in here. No, I just need to get this. No, I want to go through this one. Get through the other one. Hornet one. Did I get it? I did. So they're all together, nice and tight. Now, I'm going to connect that sill and then cut the bottom of it off. Now, I don't like... I guess this one doesn't much matter because it's welded on there. There's nothing I can do about it. So now we're going to draw a straight line on the bottom of that. And cut that off. I don't want to draw a straight line on it. My ruler on the other side. How your panels look, Douglas?
What do you think?
Oh, we got her all magnetized up.
Super, super tight, but you want a
I'll probably
gap in between?
Well, what I would
Quarter
like
inches of gap.
is I want this line here to be the same. So I can go that way just a little tiny bit. That's good though. And we're gonna take a little bit off these, or maybe make a couple. I'll dig with the grinder, then I can spot them both on together.
Yeah, 'cause it's just, we can just bring them apart a little right there. But they're just sitting so I can make another pattern.
This one's too far over on this. You know what I'm saying? See how that's too far over on that?
Yeah.
That has to be cut back that far, but that's fine. I just keep.
Yeah, you can just keep making another panel as long as you're gonna trim them all off. You're all good.
We'll just keep trimming them until they fit.
And these aren't, they're not a carryover. This
They
one
don't
doesn't
fit.
just work on the other side now.
No,
So
it does not. All right, let me put the sill on, and then we'll have to put the inside sill on this first before we apply them floor panels. I'm just going to cut this off.
it's tight, y'all.
But you got her made.
Got her made.
Doug's even got her glued down with magnets. He's going for it.
Well, I could at least make another pattern. I mean, give or take a quarter inch here and there. If I want home.
I want
It does push over
Ouch.
there a ways.
that out of my back.
Let's see what you mean. I see what you mean.
See how that feathers off like that? It's not exactly what I'm wanting, but that's welded in the back. What? Why the Hornets? Because they know we're doing something. They want to have a little fun too. Get on my face. I gotta sit back and take a look. The sill looks nice. Yeah, the sill looks really nice. It's the quarter panel that's down that back piece in the end. Let's cut that off. Let's cut it off. Just gonna come back here and take a look. That's good. It's fantastic.
What do we got over here? Oh, stash.
All through me. So I guess now we're cutting the inside sill off to length, or where I like it. And it does not matter. Only thing that matters to me. Is the line on the bottom of the sill is straight. That's the only thing that matters to me. That is the only thing that matters. I should put a couple screws in that back before I cut that off, just so it's tight. Now to me, I think I need it shaved up here a little bit. I'll sand that up there a little bit. Looks like it could be cut up a little bit better. Scared to cut that all off in the back right this second. I'm going to take a look and see if it's straight. If it's not straight, I'm going to cut it. It's not straight. That's for sure. Let's put this up there again, just to make sure. Staying up there on that line a little bit, just in case. Good. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go along there and I'm going to C-clamp it. Or vice grip it. Make a difference, I guess. C-clamp, vice grip. C-clamp is going to be my go-to. And I'm going to weld it from the bottom. I'm not going to drill any holes in it, something like that. You never know when they're going to pop off. And I'm not going for that. Let's get going.
Well.
Let's weld them all through together because some of the stuff like this that I do, it sure does save on time. Because I'll explain why. Time. Save time from, if I had that sill and I drilled all the holes in it, I drilled all the, or had the backing plate, had it all fit perfect, all that takes time. If that's the way you want to build your car, that takes time. With me putting the sill on, putting the self-tapper through, drawing it tight, welding it up from the bottom instead of drilling all the holes. I am taking away so much time when it comes to doing this by doing what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. I'm trying to save time. And that's basically the end of it. I mean, let's face it, I have done it. So it has spot welds all on the sills and tried to make it look like it was that way, but and honestly, when it comes to an old car like this, for me to take that time to make everything fit perfect before I put it on and drill all the holes and do all the spot welds, it's not in the game for me. Let's turn that back on, sweetheart. And this, what I'm doing right here, is just, all it's doing is saving me a little bit of time. That's all it's doing. Not saying it's right or if it's wrong. It's not right for the restoration world, no. But it's right if you want to fix up your old car. Stop it. Grounding out on that screwdriver. Why now? Oh, 5 strips. Okay. You want to fix up an old car. Now, when I'm welding up like that, that penetrates up there quite a ways. You can sand that flush and it's still welded because you can see where the penetration's at. It goes up there quite a ways. When I take the sander and I sand that off, you can still see that it's penetrated. So if I sand all the little welds off, it's still welded. Because I can see where it's penetrated up to. Come see this for a second? You want to come see this? I've flushed that off. But you can still see that it's welded way up in there. So that's basically why I don't mind flushing it off after I do that. And I can knock them all off in the front, flatten them all out. And I've got a sill that's a brand new, inside and out. Got to cap the end, got to make sure the fender fits. I've got a small gap up front, but it's good enough for what I'm doing. I guess, what's that? Yes. Self-tappers are coming out. I can take them out right now as far as that goes. I'll end up plug welding them. Jolene asked me a question, so I'm going to take them out. Yes, the self tappers come out. We're not going to leave them in there. We did on. This one cockeyed there. We'll weld the hole shut. It's just to hold it in place. I got a screwdriver for that. I'll keep that little strip of metal. I'll keep that in case the two small ones I won't, but the strip of metal I'll keep, Doug. I will. Take that out. I like the 5/16 self tappers, not the 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch got a smaller hit on them, and they drive me crazy. Come on in. It's gonna make me work for it. That's all there is to it. It's gonna make me work for it. There. So there we have a sill on. It's not coming off. I'll flatten it off in the front just because I can. It's still welded up. You can see where the penetration's gone up to. It's all welded up inside there. Everything is good. If we want to go in and look on the other side, you want to go looking from that side? Yeah, you can see, you can actually see where the welds are, right, you know, how they've gone up far enough on the metal that they're still penetrating, they're holding on. You'd have to cut them off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and buff this side off, get that sharp side off, probably weld all this like it sort of like needs it, I guess. And the reason being is, how do I seal it off if I do not? Get that tight in there, weld that down along there. Then when you get up inside the car, we've got a brand new inside sill. We've got a inch square stock going from underneath the sill all the way along to make it nice and strong, so you'd never be hard to bend that. So that'd be sort of an inside construction that hard piece would be, the inch piece would be, so it would be hard to bend. And we have the outside piece, which is connected. So there's a really nice sill going on there. I have to do that to the other side. I feel like I should weld it up all the way along there so nothing can get in there, and then we'll start laying our floor pans down. Jolene give away the hat. Everything's going good. So, alrighty. I hope you got something from that other than watch me struggle. I guess it wasn't much of a struggle. The gap could be probably a little bit more, but I think it's it's good. I mean, I could mess with it and wouldn't have a better job in the end, probably. You can see the rim on the other side. On Jolene's side here, we got a couple rims really reasonable. And I'm thinking that this car is going up in the air. Not saying a gasser, but it's going up in the air. We're going to put fatties on the back, skinnies on the front. We're going up so we can get a tire underneath that. And everybody's asking me what color I'm going to paint it. After all this work on this car, I'm probably not going to paint it. I'm probably going to keep all the paint off it, probably going to chisel it down and get all the paint off it, and we'll just run it that way. Basically, that's what I'm thinking on. There's so much work when it comes to this sort of stuff in here, and the end of the sills, the bottom of the fender's got to be fixed yet. The red support's got to have a piece put in it. It's testing me, and not to say testing me, it's just something that we have to spend a bunch of time on when I really wasn't looking forward to spending this much time on this car. But in the end, I'll be happy that I did it, because the car will not go to junk. It'll be fixed. It'll be all welded up. We'll have a brand new floor in it, brand new quarter panels on it. We'll fix the front. We'll do whatever we have to do to get it done. We'll get a switch for the hoist so we can go back on Jolene's car. That's what happened there. We had a switch burn up on it. The push button switch that makes it go up and down burned up on us, so I need to get a new switch. That's why we never went back at the Bugatti. Hoist is not going to go up and down without the switch. And now I have to do the exact same thing to this side as I did to that side. But you sure can tell how it's coming together. You can, you know, sure tell like you got a brand new inside sill. That's the sort of stuff there when you get underneath the car that is so hard to fix, is that inside sill. And I don't know any other way to fix it other than climbing underneath and making a mess, or digging it all out and starting fresh. All right, everybody, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate all the comments and everything about the hat. Jolene did a fantastic job on that. I want to appreciate the people that bought the gear. I want to thank Doug for taking off the front fenders and getting that done. And
Thanks,
like, comment, subscribe. Come back tomorrow. We will be here.